Twin Cities. I'll break it all down coming up.
Right now at 6, a Minnesota senator accused of trying to meet up with a minor for sex, what both parties are saying, and if it would impact the balance of power.
Plus, the wait to go home for the St. Cloud State student who was the last person to see a missing woman alive.
And confusion for some federal workers about if and when they should return to work.
This is WCCO Mornings, always streaming on CBS News Minnesota.
Good Wednesday morning. Thanks so much for being here with us. I'm Heather Brown.
And I'm AJ Hilton. Let's get you set with a look at the forecast because this thing has changed overnight. Let's go ahead and check in with next weather meteorologist Joseph Dames. Joseph, that next weather alert that had been issued for today, that's been called off.
Yeah, I'm going to call it off because this snowstorm is continuing to trend down to the southeast. Some of the snowfall totals are coming down for a lot of locations nearby. Now, I'm still going to start us off with our winter alerts because this does a really good job showing the storm track and path of this system and who is also going to be affected by this. Now, I do want to point out there's still some blizzard warnings out there. And if you're joining us in sections of Wabasha County, extending down through the south over towards Steele County and out towards Faribault County there, you're still going to be dealing with some blizzard conditions today, all right? So I want you to be ready for that. Now, the rest of us up north, west, and around the Twin Cities, still very windy today, but we're not going to get that type of snowfall that was projected out over the last, going back the last 24 hours or so. All right, satellite and radar. We have 34 degrees in St. Cloud right now. We have 20s up to the north. It's quiet. It's actually clear there. And here comes the snow down south. Now that front edge is going to be battling some drier air, so it's not going to start for probably another hour or so. But just know that as we go through the morning and head into the afternoon, things are really going to ramp up down south. All right, next 6 hours, we're still going with the Green Tower. We may pull in maybe a droplet of rain or a snowflake throughout the day today. The Green Tower more so, though, for folks down to the south with that snow event. 1 p.m. coming in at 39 degrees. Also, very breezy today. Look at that. Got up to about 44 miles per hour close to lunchtime today. So just know it will be very, very windy regardless. All right, so yes, we're missing out on the snowfall, but I still have some snow in the forecast. I want to break that down. That's actually coming up maybe this weekend, so we'll talk about that in about 10 minutes.
All right, Joseph, thank you. Let's also focus on your next drive. Now, Joseph was talking about snow down south. No snow down that way just yet. This is a live look from Albert Lee Highway. You should see Interstate 90 and 35, no problems. Now, I also want to show you the Metro map this morning because we are not following anything that's going to slow you down here in the Metro area, which is definitely good news. And matter of fact, let me also just give you another camera view around the Metro area because things are looking good. A little windy this morning, 394 and Penn Avenue just outside of downtown. So brace yourselves, but no problems on our roads.
Let's get to your top stories right now. Minnesota State Senator Justin Eichhorn is waking up in jail this morning. He was arrested after investigators say he tried to meet up with a 17-year-old girl for sex.
We know charges could be coming any day now. Meanwhile, members from his own party are now calling for him to resign. Our Pauline Lee joins us with a closer look at this case and whether a resignation, Pauline, would make a difference in the Senate chambers.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, Senator Eichhorn is now the second Minnesota senator to be facing some serious legal charges here, the first being Democrat Nicole Mitchell. But when it comes down to a resignation and whether it really makes a difference, unlike Senator Mitchell's case, if Eichhorn were to resign, really wouldn't make a difference because right now Democrats have a 1-seat majority in the Senate. If he resigns, they just move to a 2-seat majority. So really, the Republicans calling for his resignation are really going on principle here. But either way, experts are saying 2 senators facing serious legal challenges. It's really a striking moment in Minnesota history. Let's take a closer look at this.
And when you can expect it.
And the bill on changing DWI rules, that's getting the first hearing in the state legislative session today.
How about a live look outside as we get ready to head to break? You see that Next Weather Tower? It is glowing green today. Next Weather meteorologist Joseph Breakdown will break down everything you need to know for today on this Wednesday when we come back.
Watching WCCO Mornings, always streaming on CBS News Minnesota.
Right now at 6:30, we are looking ahead to what to expect at the Feeding Our Future trial as the jury is expected to start deliberating today.
Plus, the warning labels that you could see if you are using social media.
And new this morning, a drug testing pilot program, how police are cracking down on impaired drivers.
Hey, just about 6:30 on this Wednesday. Want to say good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. AJ Hilton alongside Heather Brown. Want to get started with next weather meteorologist Joseph James because, Joseph, we talked about how complicated this forecast has been to predict.
Yes, and there's been shifts and there's been changes going back through yesterday, through the overnight. It continues even here this morning as we still are expecting things to now remain south of the metro area. You'll notice that we don't have the red banners this morning. We do not have a next weather alert because of those changes. I think that for the most part, the Twin Cities metro area is going to avoid most of this. Though you down south, it will still be a problem. Okay, satellite radar showing that snow creeping on in. We have temperatures mainly in the 30s. What you're seeing here is a northwest wind. Those are wind particles, and that is bringing in some drier air. So as that moisture moves on in, it will be dealing with some drier conditions. It's going to take some time to overcome those. So I don't anticipate things to really deteriorate until we get to probably mid-morning, late morning, and then into the early afternoon. There's still blizzard warnings down to the south due to dangerous travel, blowing snow, and just snow in general. And then anything in purple here is just the winter weather advisory, where there still may be a few inches of snow and still some windy conditions, but it does not include Hennepin County or the counties surrounding us, butted up to us. All right, I want to show you the wind gust, though, because that's going to be pushing about 40 to 50 miles per hour today. It's going to be very windy up north as well, not as strong, but notice that it will be very gusty across the whole state for today. We make some improvements heading into our first day of spring. Spring equinox is tomorrow. But then as we go into the weekend, we may take another jump back to a chance for some snow. So I want to discuss that. I'll do that in about 15 minutes.
Sounds good, Joseph. Thank you. Let's take a look now at your next drive. So as that storm track has moved south, I thought I'd take us down to the South Metro, Lakeville. Roads are dry. They are looking good here, right along 35 as people making their way into work. Wednesday, we know, usually a very busy morning, but across the Metro, things looking really good. Everything in the green. MnDOT not reporting any crashes right now. After nearly 6 weeks, the Feeding Our Future fraud trial is coming to an end. Jury deliberations are expected to start this morning in the case against Amy Bach.
She's the alleged ringleader of the now-defunct nonprofit facing charges along with Salim Saeed. Both are accused of stealing hundreds of millions of dollars in federal money meant to feed children during the pandemic. Our Pauline Lee joins us live outside the federal government building in Minneapolis with a look ahead. Pauline, what's expected today?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, jury deliberations set to begin at 9 o'clock this morning. It was just 5.5 weeks ago that this case started with opening arguments here at the federal courthouse. And jury deliberation is coming after both sides made one final plea to the jury to, one, look at the evidence, and two, use common sense.
Roads dry right now, but that'll change throughout the morning.
Yeah, it is going to through the morning. Albert Lee is still in that zone where they're going to get significant snowfall today and blowing snowfall today. So I think that's going to increase mid-morning to late morning, early afternoon there, right? So, all right, we will pay attention to that down south. Now, I do want to show you the 7-day forecast. I have 39 degrees for our Wednesday today. It's going to be breezy. It is going to be cold. 46 tomorrow for spring as we finally get back into that. And then we warm up a little bit on Friday. Now, heading into the weekend, we have another chance for maybe some rain and some snow on Sunday. We'll discuss those details coming up at 7, but no big swings in the temperatures coming up. No, I don't see any 70s in the forecast.
Okay, and probably no snow here in the metro.
And for us, I'm not anticipating snow. We might get some flurries around, but as far as like steady, consistent snow, not expecting that today.
Okay, if you want to know more, we're on the stream. CBS News, Minnesota. Have a great day.